Last semester in my calc class, I didn't start studying for the test until the night before, and so I got a lot of lower grades than I wanted to because of it.
So the week of spring break, I should have been doing a lot of productive stuff because I had a test that Tuesday and we were allowed to make a poster board for it. And I didn't spend any time on the poster board over spring break, so I had to do it all Monday, the day of Tuesday. And I also had 4 homework assignments and a project due that week, and I didn't do anything. I bought tickets for a concert like 3 weeks ago for April 12th, which is a Tuesday, and I was like, that's fine, it's a Tuesday. And then the concert's at 6:30 in Colorado, so I can't go to my lab. I have to go to the 8 a.m. lab, miss part of a class. I also have a test that day and a test the next day, and I don't know how I'm going to study for any of it.
Okay. So last year in chemistry, I studied for my lab, and I studied the wrong notes and 2 hours before the test, and it turned out that I got a 48% on my test.
Back in high school, in a lot of my theater classes, we had to memorize long monologues or scenes before the class the next day, and normally most people start about a week at least in advance, but oftentimes I would put it off until the night before. And when you do that, you just retain it to short-term memory, so I would pretty much be shooting myself in the foot when the next day came and I'd have to go do a monologue or a scene that I was not ready for and get bad grades.
Okay, a bad study habit for me is when I have online homework due at 12. I usually think about it at 9:30 p.m. and but about that time I pick up my Netflix controller and start watching that. And then I'm watching some Malcolm in the Middle for probably, I don't know, it feels like 30, 40 minutes. But I look down at my phone, it's 1:30 in the morning, and I realized I messed up really bad.
Okay, it's not necessarily a bad study habit, it's a bad schoolwork habit. I don't get my schoolwork done usually when I should, when I have free time. I usually wait until like the night before to do it.
Probably my worst studying habit was the week of finals. Got into a pretty intense FIFA tournament, and even though I lost, I got like a C on the test, so.
I would start getting my notes gathered and studying at least a week before the exam.
So for the poster board, I probably should have started it before I left for spring break, so like the Friday before, and done part of it, and then maybe worked on it spring break. That might not have happened, but also worked on it the weekend before I got back.
I was studying earlier in the week to make sure I had the right material, and hopefully that would have helped me on my test. That was awful.
If I could have done something differently back in high school, I would have started memorizing law sooner, a week in advance, because then it would have been not only easier, but I also probably would have gotten a better grade.
One thing I could do to improve this is probably cancel my subscription to Netflix because it's become a huge problem in my life.
What I would do differently is, like on the weekends when I have so much free time, I would be doing my homework, or on the days where I don't have a lot of classes, be doing my homework, instead of like watching TV or doing dumb interviews.
But next time I definitely study beforehand, at least somewhat, or look over the review guide.
Some good study habits are reviewing and rewriting your notes after classes, find study groups for your classes, especially in your hard classes, visit your teacher's office hours when they are offered, that can be super helpful, and use campus resources like STEP tutoring in the Writing Center in the library.
So I would recommend not studying in your dorm room or just generally in your room, so you don't have the possibility of falling asleep or eating food or watching Netflix if you get distracted. And also, you should make a list of everything that you need to study so you don't forget something. But if you realize you're not going to be able to accomplish everything, then I would prioritize classes in your major and classes with more credits, because those will count towards your GPA more.
I reward myself with Netflix, food, I make flashcards, and I lock myself in the library.
Some of my my study tricks are realizing how long it's going to take me to study for and then doubling that because I need extra time. Also knowing how long my attention span is so that I can make sure that I plan out breaks that work for my schedule. And also talking to my professor or teacher way before advance so that I can get all the questions that I have answered instead of doing it the night before. Thank you.
And a good studying habit that I could do is go to the study room where it's silent and nothing can bother me.
Some good study habits for me, instead of actually studying for like tests, I just go to a lot of SI sessions and make sure that I know the content, like say weeks before, or like make sure I know the content as I come up to the test rather than try to learn it all the night before. So I don't actually ever study, it's just like a lot of hands-on stuff before the week of the test.
A good study habit would be not doing it all in one night, more planning it out. Because every time I cram before a test right before and I go in there and I can't remember anything.